Welcome to our first video on our new series. In this video, we're going to be talking mainly on the news extraction. But first of all, I want to walk you through our Airtable base. So, Airtable is basically where you store all your data. Is where you store all your data and where you retrieve all your data from. Think of it as a warehouse where everything you're going to generate is going to be stored. And then if you want to retrieve anything, you're going to retrieve it from here. You can also do a lot with Airtable. You can do automations. There are a whole lot Airtable does, and we'll get into that in the course of the videos, in the upcoming videos. But first of all, you want to create a base. We created this AI news aggregator and reporting platform. So this is where all our tables this is where we created all our tables for our data. So you'd want to create that for your project. So I'm going to be opening this up. So we created a table. The first table we created was the one that stored the links to the website URLs. So the news we are pushing out are basically AI news. So we are sourcing them from Wired AI websites, TechCrunch websites, and artificial intelligence websites, and these are the URLs for all the websites. Then for X, we created a list for all we created a list containing the handles that we want to be extracting news from. And like I said in our previous video, these handles could be personal accounts or AI news accounts or any. It depends on the niche you are going for, basically. So after you've created a list that contains this, you want to come here and copy the link to the list, and then you will go to Apify. You create an account with Apify. So we made use of Tweet Scraper V2 paper results to scrape our news articles or our tweets from X. So we put in the list here, and then we also made use of Smart Article Extractor for the website scraping. So now let's go straight into Make. You want to log in, create an account, then log in. So this is what the interface looks like. This is what Make's interface looks like. Then you go ahead to create a new scenario if you are starting out. But we've done this already, so I'll just be taking you through the process of how we created the workflow. So first on the list is the news extractor. So I'll be clicking on that. So the first application on our workflow is Airtable. So this, if you notice from our previous video, news extraction was in one frame, was supposed to be one workflow. But we noticed that if news is scraping from Twitter, it waits for it to scrape from Twitter before it goes down to scrape from websites. So we had to separate them into two different workflows so that they can run simultaneously. So first off, we had to go to Airtable. We created this application. So you have to right click, add a model, and then you search Airtable, then search records, and that's how we came about this. I'm going to be deleting this. So this was our trigger for this scenario. So opening this, basically in Make, every almost all the applications you call, or all the applications you call, you have to call them using an API token, except from those that are built in Make itself. So for Airtable, we had to generate a token from Airtable and then create a connection here before our table was being accessible by Make. So Make can only access your table through the API token. So from there we navigated to our base, our table, that's news sources where our platform URLs are stored, grid view. So the formula is where platform URL is not empty, and we know it's not empty because we've already put in our URLs there. So we put that in, and then limit, you can set this to whatever you want, and then you save. Then you have the array aggregator. So array aggregator basically um, puts everything together. All those URLs, it no, puts everything together basically. Then you have JSON, transform to JSON. So we want to transform this array that's gotten from Airtable into a JSON string. So that's what it did here. And then the next application we called was OpenAI, definitely through the API key, like I said. So you make a connection here, put in your API key from OpenAI, and then so the methods we selected create a chat completion. You choose the model you want to use, and then for the message, what we are telling ChatGPT to do, the JSON string contains a list of platform URLs. That's the string is going to get from here. I want to create a JSON object with URL and method keys. The URL should be the value of the platform URL in the JSON string, while the method always has a get value. So this is an example. So if you notice in the course of this tutorial, throughout the course in all our videos, you notice that we always set an example for ChatGPT, so I get a clear understanding of what we are looking for, the output we are looking for. So this is the example of the output structure. The example is for demonstration purposes only. We also saw that out. Replace their values with the values in the array I passed to you. Do not wrap the text in JSON or anything similar. Just return the object. So we did this because this is the method we're going to use to get scripts from Apify. So you would see that in the next application. So we also created a connection through Apify, and then this is our actor, the smart article extractor that's going to be extracting from the website. So if you go on to Apify for our smart article extractor, you would see a JSON where you can extract the JSON file from here. So we just copied this. We copied all of this. If you notice here, it's using the format URL method get. That was the idea when we asked ChatGPT to output this for us. So going back to the scenario, so we pasted the JSON from Apify here, JSON file here, and then for the URLs, we got the results from ChatGPT, from what we told ChatGPT to generate for us. So we put it here, and then we saved. So for Apify, you are going to the action you are going to set for Apify is to run as an actor. That's the action we are going to set. Then to get the dataset items, to retrieve the items from what it's running. The dataset ID is from Apify 4 from the previous one. Format JSON, limit 1000. So this is just retrieving whatever this is able to script from the website. So this aggregates through it, this iterates, and then sends it to ChatGPT. So what ChatGPT does is access whatever it scripts from the website is newsworthy or not based on the following criteria: relevance to AI, industry impact, the credibility of the source, recency, uniqueness, audience engagement potential, and ethical considerations. Examples of items that are not newsworthy: opinionated pieces, how-tos, list of tech startups, AI models, AI products comparisons. Examples of items that are newsworthy: a prominent figure in AI says or does something, a major AI product launch, a major AI company acquisition, new research developments. The outputs expected are a string with a value of newsworthy or not newsworthy, depending on whether the article in a justification summarizing your decision for why the news article is newsworthy or not based. So we had to define it explicitly in ChatGPT so that it gets the full concept of what we are looking for. It understands clearly what we are looking for. So the next ChatGPT, okay. So return the text, newsworthy or not newsworthy, It return newsworthy or not newsworthy, depending on whatever the previous ChatGPT was able to conclude on. Then the next ChatGPT to return the contents in the justification section of the results in this result. This should be the content other newsworthy, can also be not newsworthy, and is numbered. Don't add any quotation, text or opinions. Just return the text after the item numbered to. So then we are going to create a record on Airtable. We're going to call it script article. Let's go there. So in this record, we have the article URL, we have the author, we have we created records for the article URL, the author, the description, the title, the content, keywords, newsworthiness justification, created time and modified time. So going back to make, so in this table, so we want to create a record in this table. So for every item it scrapes, we are going to create a record for it on a table, on this table, script articles table. So we are going to input the article URL, the author, the description, the title, the text that it scrapes, that's the article text, the keywords or tags, the results, whether it's newsworthy or not, the justification, and we'll save that onto Airtable. So I'm going to run that now. I'm just going to run it once so that we'll be able to see the results on Airtable itself. So while we wait for this to run, let's go into the second news extractor. This one is extracting from Twitter. So like we did previously, we're going to go to Airtable just as a trigger, just to use as a trigger. I'm going to search record, then we're going to go straight to Amplify, and then we'll call in the actor. The actor is the tweet scraper that we are using. This one, yeah, Apidojo. So we're going to go there, call in the actor, copy the JSON file from here, copy this file, then paste it in the JSON, in the input JSON here on Amplify. If you notice here, we didn't need to spell out it in the previous video because we already have the list. This is very much straightforward than the one from the website. So we just need to put in the Twitter list link here and then save. Then like we did previously, we get the items from this Amplify. We map in the ID, format JSON limits. Then we have the array aggregator pass through it to the iterator, and then we have the newsworthiness decision. So it's just the same with the previous one. Just define whether these tweets, because there'll be a lot of tweets that are not necessarily news. They might be just opinions and the rest. So this step is very important in the news generation phase. So just like we said in the previous one, the same thing here. We define what newsworthy news is, what not newsworthy news is. So it will use that to, go through all tweet it scrapes and then defines newsworthiness. So just like the same steps, it's just the same steps. It's just different scraping, different places it's scraping from. And then it goes ahead to save it on Airtable. So I'm going to run these two so that we can see the difference between the tweet and the web script. So if we go to script articles, We can see here the sources. So these ones were gotten from TechCrunch, artificial intelligence, news. I think I can see one wired.com here. So these ones were gotten from TechCrunch, artificial intelligence, wired.com. That's for the website article. Then for X posts, these are our results. So if you notice, like I said, most of them are not newsworthy because most of them may not necessarily be news. We'll just have few outputs from here. But then this saves the same way we called in script articles to save our website URL, we created another table basically for our X post. So this saves the tweet ID, the X post itself, author, the newsworthiness justification, like count, associated URLs, associated images, created dates, and modified dates. So that's that for the newsworthy for news extraction. Thank you for watching up until this point. In our next video, we're going to be talking about the news transformation, how we generate the news from these sources. Till then, bye for now.